Everyone close their eyes. We want everyone to close their eyes. The split second that you close your eyes, perhaps you can see behind your eyelids, all right? Those lids that you have are meant to shut out the world, but they do not shut out the light, all right? So the light, which is photonic, which is increasing at all times at this point, has within it the sensings of a deeper reality that is not going to show itself within the physical realm. It's going to stay in fourth dimension. It's going to stay connected to fifth dimension. It's going to be emanating from the central sun, and it is giving to each one a boost in their energy life force. So sometimes when one is getting a boost, let's say you take a drink of caffeine, yes, it feels really good. When you're ingesting it, you feel really good. And then there is a type of exhaustion or depletion that happens. The depletion happens not because of the missing substance, but because of the different level of connection to a different. We are sending you pictures at the same time, so keep tuned to what's going on behind the eyes. Different level of connection, which has in it a vibration that is different. It is not connected to any single one of your chakras or any one of the realities that you are aware of, but it is connected to that part of your own divinity that is ever present for you, all right? It's within you if you have a body, and it's with you, walking alongside of you when it is you don't have a body, and it is you at all times. So there are 3 levels of connecting to one's own divinity. Keep that in mind and know that the light behind your eyes may be giving you different impulses. It may be giving you different colors. It may be giving you different forms. But nevertheless, what is projecting that reality behind your eyelids is the truth of your being. Now, the truth of your being isn't making any judgments on what color or shape is being projected, and it isn't deciding how long or how short. It has to do with your own openness as to how much of the vibration can come and be part of your awareness at the very moment that you are paying attention to that. So you are awareness. Yes, that's the divinity in you. You are total awareness, and come from that, signifying, no, that's not the right word. Signaling, that's not the right word either. Significantly, it sounds a lot like it, doesn't it? Significantly shifted and downsized as you come into the physical world. And so the physical world has its own vibrations. It has its way in which it will entertain you, and that entertainment is not to be paid attention to for very long. All right, so one that, the children that have what they call ADD, ADHD, their brains are jumping around, etc., they are very much in tune with the alternate realities and have a way in which they cannot keep their intended vision on the third dimension. And they don't want to, because it's boring and it's not giving the information that their soul is looking for. So if you find yourself a little ADD, or you find yourself a little distracted, you can say to yourself, yes, maybe perhaps I am shifting into a higher reality, a different way of observing the planet. So as these things are happening on the planet, and each one is being thwarted in their movement about how it is you want to move through your day, it's a good time to be settled within yourself and to go deeper within. And that idea of going deeper within has gotten very old in the human. It's as though go within, go within. What the heck does that mean? And I've done that before, and I don't know what it means, and I don't want to do it, and I haven't got time, etc., etc. So, but at this point in time, you are looking toward the truth of your being. All right, you're not looking toward a something, but the truth of your being, which is not in form and doesn't have a desire at all. So the truth of who you are has no desires. It's just the omnipresent energy in the entirety of anything you could possibly imagine. So it's not about the solar system, or it's not about the universe. It's about the entirety of your being. So you're getting a lot of help with that right now. And if you have the time, or you set aside the time where you can do what you call meditation, but it's mostly a contemplation, or it's a set of disciplines so that you can bring yourself into the moment. So the practice being come into the moment without any of these crutches or any of these disciplines, and you get much more quickly into the vibration of the intensity of the truth of your being. So this is what is happening now. And so there are a lot of outer distractions, a lot of ways in which the outer world has been building with lack of commitment to its goal, and not knowing the goal. The human doesn't know that their goal is to find out who they are, to be awakened to the truth of their being, and that is not anything to do with the physical. So the push is on, it's on, and those that feel as though they are being disappointed by the outer world because it isn't moving in the direction, or it isn't moving as quickly in the direction that they wanted to, are the ones that are be able to say to themselves, yes, I am disappointed by the outside world, and now this is my chance to go to the inner world. And that world, of course, for the most part, people don't know what that is. And they're looking for something in the world. So they're looking for something, and they get a story, or they get a memory, or they get a different kind of impulse or feeling that goes on inside the body. And because the mind, which is connected to the ego, wants to travel, it loves to travel. It loves to travel on any thought, and especially it likes to travel into details. It likes to go into details, and it likes to give lots of descriptions. So anytime that you're giving yourself lots of descriptions and details, you know, my ego is having a really good time with this. Because the quiet space, the center, which you can call this small space in your heart or your soul connection, is not really there in the reality of what it is you're observing, or what it is you're thinking, or what it is you want, or what it is your memory is telling you about. So all these things are distractions. And so many disciplines are lovely. Crystal bowls are lovely. Exercise in a particular way with the yoga is lovely. Different disciplines that can help one to come into a better understanding of their physicality. They're lovely, but they're not it. It's not it. It's the time now to recognize, yes, as long as I'm doing this dance and engaging in the third reality or third dimensional reality, I am not in my core. I am not in my center. So talking to each one of you this way, just to remind you that this is a strong time for being assisted by the universe if your intention is to go deep within and to stay in that divine aspect of yourself, within the heart, within the silence, within the non-structured reality, then it is you have a lot of assistance. So making an intention and saying to self, well, I don't really know what that is. What are we talking about here? What about my center self? And so becoming nothing is a very difficult agenda for the human. And that's what needs to happen. When one recognizes that they really don't exist and there really isn't anything important about anything they've done or seen in this particular reality here, then they are on the right track. But very few are willing to do that. And it is that set of circumstances that were set in place long ago as a small child, being taught culturally or socially what is acceptable or what is expected of the little one. So a lot of unwinding, a lot of undoing. The closest one can get to just being unwound to the depth of their being would be associating, let's say, the smell of a rose, which comes into the nostrils. It sends its essence through the entire brain system, and it goes down into the first chakra and is recognized there as an earth component. And that earth component is very worthwhile. People thinking that they have to go into their highest chakras and be purple and white and gold and everything. No. It's always that childlike place inside of each one that can resonate so beautifully with the truth of their being. Because after all, you are a small child when you first come in. After all, you are dirt, really, when you come and you have a body. It's a lot of dirt all being put together. A silly way to say it, but it's the absolute truth. It's the earth element. And to give yourself permission to go into that and to experience it without any judgment at all, without any wants, needs, and desires to be any different than you are, is a really relaxing place for the human, but it's also the place of renewal. So renewal is not about staying high in the stratosphere in a meditative state, but it's about being back in the first chakra and being connected to the consciousness that creates, and that is the Divine Mother, of course, that is the energy of the earth, but it's also that part of yourself that has so much potential to create an atmosphere within yourself so that all things are equal, so that you are not thinking about one aspect of your life more than another. And we say thinking is fine, and using your brain power is very useful when it is that you choose to do it. But that roaming around in the stratosphere with thoughts and patterns and wants and needs and desires and seeing what is appearing through the filters that each one has, and then making a classification of it. It's a better word than a judgment, but classifying it. If I pay attention, I won't pay attention. And your body does that in millions of ways every single day, but your brain is slowed down. It can't do it as quickly as your body does. So giving yourself permission to know that you have far more potential than you have ever been able to imagine, right? And who would want to imagine all those fragments, all those fractals, all those instants of pixels that are in the projection of the video that is in the life in front of you. But then there's also that part of self that is truth, that part of self that has come life cycle after life cycle, that part of self that really understands that there is nowhere to go, there's nothing to do, and there's only that essence which is always in returning mode, as is your planet from morning to night to morning to night to morning to night, circular. So rising again into the high point, or going to the top of the mountain, so to speak, is a really good endeavor. It's not absolutely necessary, but to recognize here I am, and I am moving somewhere. That's the physical. Here I am is the end result of the non-physical, the soul, the essence of yourself. Right. So that's a lot of talk. It's good to talk to you, little ones, yes. And we will answer question. If you have question, we will answer.